Has NVIDIA's AI hype spoiled investors heading into the second quarter earnings season? Peter Cherr is back with us, Academy Securities Head of Macro Strategy. So, Peter, I'll ask you very simply, how bad is this earnings season going to be?
I'm not sure how bad it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little bit weak. Going back to the question about NVIDIA, you can look at even Microsoft. Microsoft added almost $1 trillion since its January lows in market cap. NVIDIA added 700 billion. So yes, great earnings. But I think one of the questions is, okay, are the valuations even ahead of those great earnings? So you've had this massive rise. The one thing that I have not seen with AI is you're really not giving any benefit to the companies who are supposedly going to use AI and get these efficiencies. At some point, if AI is really going to take the world by storm, I think you have this ability for companies to show efficiencies. You get to see real growth. But I think right now they're going to have to spend money to get there. So I could see some earnings weakness across the board. I think you're going to see a little bit of tentativeness from companies about consumers. And I think that's going to be what raises this headwind, because typically, yes, companies have massaged markets and analysts to the point that they beat. But I think it's going to be this story about the U.S. consumer, what's going on there, and global growth.
Peter, do you think that is where we will see the negative surprises? Are you concerned about a Target? Are you concerned about a Walmart, how they might report, given consumer weakness we have seen? But as you mentioned before, that potential headwind with student loan repayments.
Yeah, I think it's going to come from the consumer side. I'm going to watch carefully on the auto side. If you go back a year ago, all you got was emails, or at least all I got was emails, them trying to buy my used cars. Now I'm getting ads for getting new cars from them, right? Oh, discounts are coming back. So I'm not sure. We kind of got this pounded in our head. Automobiles are impossible to buy. You can't get them. Is that starting to tilt? So I think it's going to be across the board. And the one thing I do think we tend to all forget is a lot of people have 3-year leases on their cars, or longer dated loans, and those are starting to reset. And as more and more people reset, they face like, wow, what used to cost $500 is going to cost $800. So I think we're right in the midst of that. And that's where you're going to see the consumer pulling back, on addition to everything else that's facing them.
Peter, as Saz was mentioning, you can have an AI conversation that is viable and it makes sense when you're talking about a company like NVIDIA, but not the same at Home Depot. There's no AI chip lawnmower. I think we can all agree that that should be some type of future that we all hope for. But at the end of the day, when you think about what the magic word has been for last earnings season in AI and artificial intelligence, is there a magic word that companies can use or that you expect them to attempt to lean into this earnings season?
Yeah, and I would actually say we kind of view, when we're thinking about corporations, say a Home Depot type company, there's 3 ways that they're going to ultimately use AI. One is in their strategic planning. How do they use it to become better at strategically planning their purchases? What's going on? How do they manage their company? There's going to be some tactical level. How do they manage their individual stores better? How do they manage their workers better? So I think those are the benefits that can accrue relatively quickly. But over time, it's going to be this big spend. You got to get your data in. And when we talk about this, I think Levi said it great not too long ago. They said they are a software company that happens to sell jeans. And I think more and more companies have to think about themselves as an information technology company that sells X, Y, and Z. And yes, they are going to figure out how to incorporate AI into some of their products. Look at what Deere has done in some of their, big harvesters. It's amazing, the technology that's there. But ultimately, AI, the benefits are going to come from better management of your strategic vision, better management of your employees. And some of that's already occurring, even with the simple level of AI we have, let alone where AI should be in 2-3 years.
So AI aside, is there a magic word then this earnings season?
I think it's that you've seen that your customer base is very resilient. You're not seeing any signs of slowdown, because it's all going to be about your selling right now. And go back, say, 6 months to a year. If you talked about your supply chains being okay, that was enough. Now it's not about supply chains. It's now, are you able to sell your products, and at what margin are you able to sell those products? And I think that's going to be the risk.